I will go ahead and get started. So is chapter 50, rescue. Help me, wails Queen as she plummets toward the ground. Terror burns in her chest, but as she nears inevitable death, her weeping transcends into passion for the only one she loves that she'll be leaving behind. She prays, Mama, I know heaven won't let me enter with this mark in my head, but it's not too late for Nicky. Will you please watch over him? Hey, yells a voice from the sky. Queen eyes flutter open. We're looping around to grab you, yells the voice. Die, closer, get us closer to her. I'll scoop her with the net. Queen feels hope return to her heart, and within seconds, a jolt hits against her, and she lifts into the wind. I got her, yells the voice. How? Who you? Asked Queen, looking through the woven ropes of a makeshift basket. I'm the cavalry, replies Xavier with a proud smile. Scavengers don't let scavengers die. Reel her in, Danny. We need to get to the city. Wait, please, yells Queen. You can't leave. We need to warn Nico. There is something evil on his ship. Nico made it out of the city? Asked Xavier. Yes, but the evil thing is going to kill him. It doesn't have the mark, and we are trying to help. We were trying to help it. It pushed me off the hole because I have the mark. Whoa! Stop the reels, screamed Xavier. Wait, but I'm a true believer, cries Queen. I was forced to get the mark. Can your ship cloak the beacon inside the chip? Xavier lies flat on his belly, looking down at Queen. Terror returns to her eyes, and she dangles a foot below the ship's open carport. Danny walks over and squats down beside Xavier. We figured you were one of ours when we saw you drop out of the sky in midair. Figured you fell from a cloaked ship. But our ships won't cloak the mark, says Xavier. Good thing that we were coming to rescue Nico. His ship has a load of our people in it, in its cargo. If you don't mind being bait, that beacon in your mark can lure the henchmen ships away from them. But what about the evil thing? We need to warn Nico. It's not safe to use communications, Xavier explains. The henchman's radar cannot detect a cloaked ship, but they can tap into our radio frequency the moment the signal hits the open airwaves. Danny assures her, don't worry about Nico. Whatever spooked you isn't as scary as a ship full of angry scavengers. You need to hang tight. We'll stay low, lead them on a wild goose chase, then find a safe spot to leave you. But can't you pull me onto the ship? I'm a sitting duck out here. You don't want to do that, says Danny. The ship's automated self-defense feature will fry that chip in your head the moment you step foot inside. Whatever tossed you off that ship, whatever tossed you off the hull of that ship, saved your life. Don't give that thing credit for nothing. You guys saved me, not it, yells Queen. One of the scavengers monitoring the radar interrupts. Hey, we're pulling a tail of fighters here. Where do you plan to drop the woman? Danny sighs, and with empathy in his voice, he requests, toss me a survivor's kit. He turns to Queen. Is water and a couple of days' ration in the bag. He unclips his gun and a hunting knife from his artillery belt, stuffs it and ammunition into the bag. You might not recognize me, but I recognize you. You're Miss Mabel's boy. Queen focuses on Danny's facial features. The bully from Boy Scout? Danny chuckles. I spent my summers losing first place badges to a skinny kid in a dress, and you're calling me the bully? Queen blush is cut short by a flame of heat and the scent of sulfur surging past her. The rope singes and a light flicker of smoke in the air. The rope singes a light flicker of smoke in the air and drops against her weight. The ship tilts sideways and cuts a sharp bend before straightening. I can't continue to shake their missiles with her beacon drawing that fire straight to us, yells a fighter. Unlatch the purple car, Danny yells back. He looks down at Queen. You ever heard of the Devil's Hand? That place in Africa? Asks Queen. There's a safe refuge outside the borders of their kill zone. It's run by an old man, Obadiah. It's been a few years since I was there, but the people in his village believe he has magic powers. If you can get yourself there, he'll keep you safe until Nico can come for you. Another missile rattles past. The ship tilts, increases speed, and glides on an angle, dodging fire that's targeting Queen's beacon. The keys are in the ignition, Xavier says to Queen. With another sigh, Godspeed, prays Danny, and he detaches the basket and releases the car from the ramp. Queen feels a jolt, then tumbles into the air. Falling with the car descending toward her, she grabs hold of the grill and struggles onto the hood. Crawling like a spider, she makes her way to the open driver's window. She climbs into the seat and sees a radiation mask clipped to the survival kit. Nikki, please be safe, she mutters and turns on the car's cloaking switch, heading for cover in the woody areas outside of Old Seattle. The end.
Stood that, like, my comprehension before, because I've read this a version of this before, but this, I understand it so much better now. I don't know if it's because of the you said you rewrote parts of it, or if it's because hearing it out loud. But this would knock as an audiobook, honestly, because like just stepping into this, not knowing. I mean, I know like most of the story, and I know, but like just hearing this objectively, which is what I tried to do, it was interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, I know I was kind of beating you up before about the fall. I think what you did, you just kind of like lessened it. You just kind of just made it like a kind of like a step on the stair or run the ladder instead of it being this big thing. I think that made it better, way better.
Okay.
So awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll throw in there is definitely was an improvement. I think, like you're saying, throughout the piece, I think it had a better flow, and I think there was just some of the grammar stuff in it before too was disrupting that. But I think hearing it also adds a different perspective to that. But then the main two sections were definitely better. Like the beginning of the two falling scenes, which is like what everyone had quibbles with. I think like the first one is shorter, and so it's like more plausible that what the thought she gets out in the prayer, like it's more plausible the amount of time she would have to have that. So I didn't feel like it this time. Didn't feel like, wow, where this is going on for a long time. Like, so I thought that was a definite improvement. There's like one part in there, and this is like a little thing, like her weeping transcends into a passion for the one love she'll leave behind. I think you could tighten that one sentence up a little bit, and I only noticed it because you stumbled over a little bit while reading, and I think that kind of shows how the sentence is like a little stumbly. And that's the only sentence I really noticed that was like that. And then the second part of her falling on the car scene, like it's still like a pretty extraordinary act, but the way you describe, like, changed it to seem more like a struggle and make her seem like it wasn't like these badass maneuvers she's pulling off, even though it really is, but like it's not being described that way. It makes it more believable. So I think you did a good job improving both those two scenes that people had issues with. So yeah, it's definitely an improvement.
Thank you. Any comments from you, So?
Yeah, it's fun to hear it out loud. And since you have the recording, maybe what you could do is go back and listen to exactly what you said. I've gone back and forth with this too when I'm writing my pieces. I record it and then I listen to how I actually read these things out loud, and then I go back and modify it according to the way I read it. The problem is, from one time reading it out loud to the next, I do things differently. But it's still fun because it's like a with music too. You can have the sheet music and especially with more modern pieces, you can play them completely differently each time depending on what you want to emphasize and what you want to like rush ahead to, where you want to slow down, where you want to skip ahead. Same thing with writing. But I thought it sounded pretty good.